It's a somber day in Texas City, but it's also a day of celebration. And believe it or not, this is the 70th anniversary of the explosion. And I think that it's appropriate that it's also the start of Holy Week, where we're going to be doing this celebration today. That's why it's not on the day on the 16th. I had somebody from the press ask me why that was, and we brought up that we really were lucky, quite frankly, for the start of Holy Week when we do this. I'm going to ask our color guard, made up for the Texas City Fire Department and Texas City Police Department, to present the colors, and then we're going to, so you can stay standing, we're going to have the national anthem and end the Pledge of Allegiance. So we'll go ahead and get started.
Passion has another meaning which is very rich and speaks to both what Jesus underwent in those days, but also what this community has shared since those days, 70 years. Anger, ardent love, a burning love, boundless enthusiasm. But it also goes on to say the sufferings of Jesus in the period following the Last Supper, and including the crucifixion, as related in the New Testament. The word itself goes back. We look in the mirror today as our community continues to face different struggles, that we can face them together, and that we can take responsibility for those responses in the same courageous way that those community members did 70 years ago.
Roosevelt once said, "Courage is not having the strength to go on. It is going on when you don't have the strength." I believe we all are here today because a community that was comprised of 18,000 people.
Zolan Davis, Roy Lewis Durio, Archie Boyce Emzoff, Henry John Finneson, Virgil D. Faraday, William Henry Henriksen, William Fred Hughes.
boss, Mr. Newland, said, we might as well let the professionals do their job. Well, let's get off the ship. So we got off the ship and everything else. And so I decided that two friends of mine that also had gotten out of the Navy during World War II, we were leaving as the ship blew up. It pushed my automobile to one side of the car, and I left it. And we made it all right. Wade Wilson, one of my friends, had his arm sticking out of the car, and he got cut up in his arm. But outside of that, we made it fine. We continued on with the deal. I came back again to help that night of all the people. One of the greatest effects that's been on my mind ever since was the young children that had come up there. They were over the fence. They were all sitting up there watching the fire. They had never seen them. And when that thing exploded, well, it just, I just happened to be not too far away from there. And it was really possible. I made every trial that was made for that deal. It took 10 years of trials from 1947 to 1957. The last trial was in Houston, Texas, and they found that the Republic of France guilty of negligence aboard that ship. So later on, they said, I called, my thing was over with, I got dismissed. And later on, I got a letter says that France had objected to the decision that was made, that I would be called upon again to come and testify. And all I had to testify was that I saw the fire and I tried to help put it out, and so did the rest of it. You know, but they said we would be calling you later at the gate to start.
Years ago when we did this, do you remember that day?
I'm kind of hard to hear.
Okay, I'm gonna holler at you. Okay, can you hear me okay now?
Okay.
Just real quick, Mr. Lunar, recount that day when you're on the Grand Camp and first saw that fire. Tell us about that story again.
Oh, well, like I said before, I had just gotten out of the Navy, could come on there, and I had to enroll to go to Texas A&M, but then we came up, we were going longshore, I not know nothing about it. We decided we'd come over there, and of all things, we got on that ship. Then, had no idea what we were going to do with it. They had ammonium nitrate that we were going to do. And we were getting started, and I smelled the fire, and I said, there's a fire in the ship, and the refrigerator says, oh, there's no fire in the ship. I said, yeah, and finally I got some of the men, Wilbur Newland and and Calvin and Paul and another friend of mine, that was all of us from Santa Fe, Arcadia, Texas at the time. And I kept telling them there's a fire. Well, finally I went over to the gun and I looked down and I could see a little flame. And I told the Frenchmen to come in there and they tried to put it out, and I couldn't. So finally they called the fire department, and we left the ship, let the professionals have the deal. And so by me and saying that I saw the fire and all that stuff, I had to make all of the trials to go ahead and govern it. And like I said before, the last trial that was made was exactly 10 years to the date. In Houston, Texas, at the Federal Building, and they found France negligent of the deal and found them guilty. So therefore, we had to go there. The trial lasted for exactly 10 years, one right after the other one, and everything. And all I was called for to just say that I spotted the fire, really.
Mr. Can you back up? When you saw the fire and you guys got in your car, right, and left, talk about when you were in your car when the explosion happened, right?
And, but when they started the fire, when they finally decided there was a fire on the ship and they were going to call the fire department, our boss said, well, we might as well get off the ship and let the professionals do their job, and of course, which was the fire department. And when we left, we had walked off towards, I think it's 2nd Avenue, I don't really know. We was walking towards it when the thing blew up. It pushed my car into the ditch, and I got it, but I backed it up off of it, and Wade Wilson and Pee Wee Long got in to the car with me, and we left. And by the time that we left, stuff started falling off the sky, just bouncing stuff. It had blown so much stuff away. And we went on and got home and got back to Arcadia.
But you came back that night.
And
You got
so-
home to Arcadia, but you came back.
I got over to Arcadia, and so we got home and we got that thing, and all the people were outside excited. They heard of all the explosion and everything was going on. And I told them, I said, we ought to go back. They're going to need some help. So, well, Wade didn't come back, but Pee Wee Long and myself, we come back. By that time, they had set up reinforcement, and we told them we were working on that ship, could we come back and help? And they said, you were working on that ship and it blew up. I said, well, yes, we went home and we're coming back. So they let us come back, and we helped that night. And when that second ship blew up, we was helping, get that thing out. And we didn't get home until the next day. And so then we went. So then they set up a deal at Camp Wallace, and I went to Camp Wallace and helped with Camp Wallace to set up these people that were coming from out of town because of the kin folks, they were coming from all over the states, as I remember. And we took care. I got in on we'd give them a building number and stuff like that, and going to had them a place to stay, and that was it.
When you got on stage to tell your story, you said something about you served in World War II.
I've been in Civil
Come
War
home,
too.
you served in the U.S. Navy, but repeat what you said up there about comparing what you saw in the war and then coming home to see.
Well, coming in February the 10th of 1943, we were heading for Guadalcanal. We're going to make, and the Japanese come out there. Since they sent a single deal, they sunk our ship. On February the 10th of 1943, and therefore we come back. And later on, the next morning, an Australian ship, HMAS Warramunga, picked us up and took us to Australia. The one that was on the deal. And then we stayed over there in Australia for a while till we finally got back home.
So you see that horrific event.
But it was a ship exactly like the one we got. They call them Liberty ships, and that's what it was. It was on that Liberty ship. The name of it was the Star King. And it was a son.
But you compared it. You said something on stage that you had to come home to see the worst.
Then I had to come home to see. I thought that was bad when we lost the ship, and well, I hadn't seen nothing bad until I saw that Texas City explosion. I thought that was the worst thing I never saw nothing that bad during World War II. They killed that many people.
How old are you now, Mr. Luna?
I'm 94 years old.